Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Quincy Evans, the best amateur lightweight in the US. Hello, Quincy. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Quincy, it right now. It should be no doubt that you are the number one lightweight in US. Actually, even on topology, you are number one on Southeast, and it's like almost 900 fighters in lightweight division. So I think that it's really quite impressive to be the best out of this kind of group.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I'm blessed, man. The team that I have, I don't even like to say team, but the family that we have and the culture that we have in the gym, man, it breeds, like warriors, and we stand on that warrior code. So I'm extremely blessed to be around the family that I am in Faglers.
Let's talk about your last fight. It was 1 week ago. Your opponent was 6-1. It was Jason Gibson, and you defeated him in the first round. So, what do you think about this performance, and what should be now? What should be next now for you?
Yeah, man, a week ago, we went in the battle, we marched in the battle once again. He was currently ranked the number two lightweight in the Southeast as well. So it was kind of like, number one versus number two matchup. Um, and the fights that we've been taking, even like my past like 3, 4 fights, the fights we've been taking have just been fights that's only gonna, like allow me to elevate and progress. Because that's what we want. We want the tough fights. We want to be challenged. Um, because we want to get to the next level. We don't want to regress, or we don't want to, stay where we are. We want to continue to perform and get better. We got a saying in the gym where it's each performance is best performance. But just speaking a little bit on the fight from Friday night, we had a game plan, and we knew that he was going to come in, and he was going to want to play the jiu-jitsu game, play the jiu-jitsu aspect of the fighting. So we went in, with the mindset of, no takedowns, making sure that we were staying safe. If we got in bad positions, like he actually got in on the back, he got a back take. And just all camp, man, leading up to that camp, we worked out of so many bad positions. There were so many nights in training where they would put me in the worst possible position. And they were like, hey, you got to work out of this. The round's not over until you get out. The round's not over until you get out. I don't care how many times, you may get submitted, or how many bad positions you end up in, you got to continue to work. So that fight camp, it played out the exact way. He got in on the back take. I was able to fight the hands in my corner, listen to what they were telling me to do. And that's when I got the escape, and when I slammed him, I could kind of see that his eyes were glazed over. He wasn't completely out, but he was rocked a little bit. And I hear my coaches, telling me, go in for the kill, work the ground and pound. And that was, like the last 10 seconds of the first round. So it was wild. It was a great night. It was a great night.
And if I'm correct, it was your fourth title in the amateur scene, right?
Yes, sir. So it was supposed to be for a title, but I vacated because I came in a little heavy. But if he had have won, he would have still had the chance to, win the title. But since I had came in a little heavy, that I actually had to vacate that title.
And this year was kind of crazy for you because you had 5 fights, 5 wins against a really good opposition like Gibson, like Ferdinand Gołki, who is also a very good fighter. So from this fights, what was the do you think what was the best performance from your side?
Um, the best performance from this year, I would honestly have to say, man, I started out the year like it was crazy. I started out the year fighting a guy, Trace Harper, in January. So that was wild. I fought, a Daniel Wilkins next. He was a great, tough, durable guy. Man, I fought a lot of good opponents this year. I would have to say I'm a little biased because, it was in my hometown, Augusta, Georgia. when I fought Ferdinand. I think that was the best performance because he really challenged me. He landed some shots. He was really durable. Um, his pressure on his takedowns were really well, so he challenged me to keep having to work my stand-up game against the cage. Yeah, so and then like you say, it was the hometown. The crowd was going crazy. My coach called the switch kick to the head. And it worked out perfectly. So I'm gonna have to go with Ferdinand back this summer. I think that was June. Yeah, it may have been July. It was July. In July.
It was a great performance, and I think that also is cool that it was a fourth round finish. So I think that it is cool that you can also finish your opponent not only in 1, 2, 3, but also in the championship rounds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we want. We want a challenge. We want to know like how far, we're willing, to go. Everybody says, I'm willing to die for this. I'm willing to, go to the deepest depths, but in that gym, like I honestly believe that we are willing to go the last step. Like we said, you're going to have to put me out. You're going to have to put me out.
And also this year you fought against Cameron Bennett. Actually, I was quite surprised that it was a split decision because I think that it shouldn't be. But it also was the fight in the ring. And is it the first? Was it the first time that you fought in the ring?
Yes, yes, that was for Island Fights, man. They showed me a lot of love. Actually, my first main event, I main headline the card. That was my first main event fight, and like I said, it was for a title against a very another durable opponent. Cam Bennett had a lot of volume, a lot of pressure with the strikes. You get in there and a lot of people throw 1 or 2 shots, maybe 3. He was putting like 4, 5, 6 together, so. That was a great night. That was a great fight as well. Very, very tough guy, very durable, and an all around great guy. I actually still keep in contact with him as well. Um, but yeah, the ring, man, it took a little time getting used to when we first got there. We got in and shook it out, felt it out a little bit. But it was actually pretty cool. Like I would think the ring, the ropes, had a lot less give than you think they would have. Like they were very, very sturdy, very sturdy.
And right now you are number one. And do you think that in your next fight, you will be fighting against another tough amateur, or you will decide to go pro in 2024?
Honestly, I tell everybody that asks me, I've been, getting asked, quite a lot right now. I honestly don't know what's next. I leave my career into the hands of my coaches. They do an awesome job with us, and I think I'm able to speak on all of the fighters in the gym. They do an awesome job with our careers. They know what we need. They know what we, need to progress or to go to the next level or what we need looking for the next fight. And it's just like you say, we try to get better. So if they say, hey, we're going pro, if they say, hey, we got 5 more amateur fights, I'm just whatever it is, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get it done. If they tell me we got this name, we got this guy, we got this guy. We're gonna go get it done. I trust them 1,000% with my career.
And for your like first opponent as the pro, it can be like tricky fight because you will be 0-0. So on the first look, it can be like that you just just begin your journey with the sport, and in the end, you will be a guy who probably will have more experience than your opponent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's something like you say that they're big on, like experience. Especially in the amateur ranks, just building us as fighters, like just building you, getting, putting this aspect, getting your ground game right, getting your wrestling right, getting your jujitsu right, getting your striking right, and just making sure you're seeing like small, minute things in the cage because once you become pro, that's it. You're a pro, you can't go back. So they want to make sure that they're doing everything they can to make sure I'm the best fighter every single time I step in the cage. And I stand behind them on that. They do an awesome job.
And what was the reason behind you starting your MMA journey?
Oh man, so I actually the youngest son, the youngest Fagler, like I say, fighting out of Fagler's Kempo Karate School at Augusta, Georgia. The youngest son, we wrestled together in high school. And after I graduated, I kind of just I did wrestling here and there, but nothing really serious. And so I came move back home from college, and he was like, "Hey man," he was like, "Listen," he was like, "You're too young to just, give it up. Don't let that warrior die. You got the warrior spirit in you." He's like, "You're too young. You're too young." He's like, "Come, come try out fighting." And I was like, "Oh no, man, y'all crazy. I ain't I'm not doing that. I've seen the way y'all spar." And he was like, "Man, listen," he was like, you're too young to just let it go away. You're 21 years old. Like you got more in you." And so I just kept, showing up to wrestling on Wednesday nights, and he was like, "Man, come to striking, come strike with us, come try some MMA." And I ended up, getting my first pair of gloves, and I've been a part of the family ever since. Man, they accepted me like they love me just like I'm, their son, their brother. So
And
it's been great.
it is kind of crazy because like watching your fight, you are like crazy good striker. Like thinking about that you started from wrestling, it's like kind of odd thing.
Shout man, listen, I can't say it enough. Shout out to them. I owe them so much. When I say like they care more about you as a person than they do you as a fighter. Like I feel like that's why the elevation has, you know, the growth has been exponential because they care about me as a person. They care about everybody in the gym as people before fighters. They're not trying to make you this excellent fighter that's, just goes out and wrecks everybody. It's like, no, we're gonna make you a man. Like we're gonna make you a person who's able to go out into society and thrive. So yeah, man, the growth is it happens every single time. It's been a wild ride, man. It's been crazy. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every part of it.
And do you have as the one of the your training partners also a young prospects that in like 1 or 2 years they can be either like top amateur or a very good pro?
Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt. We've got some people that's coming into the gym now, and we're adding to the team. We've got, of course they're already pros, but we've got, Jason Fagler Jr., who's the coach, who's actually a coach. He fights in April. We've got the already pro Malcolm Wellmaker, who's fighting January 20th. We've got one of our um, coaches who's also fighting, Joel Fagler, who is on a tear. He is, he does his thing as well. Yeah, man, we've got, man, it's so many. Kirsten Pack, Amanda Andrews, Riley Drake. We've got Andrew Moore, Terrence McKenzie. Man, we're building something very special here in Augusta, and I'm loving every part of
And you mentioned so many names, so maybe like 2 3 years it will be like a top gym in the state or even more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna keep working, and we're gonna keep putting on. We're gonna keep representing. We there's a mantra we like to say in the gym where it's represent. So we're gonna keep representing.
And of course, like you are a very good striker when I watched your fights. And how much comfortable do you feel when you are on your back in the grappling department?
Man, we feel like I said, we work out of, bad positions all the time. It's not a gym that you're gonna walk into and they're gonna make you feel comfortable every night. Every night you go in there and you gotta realize, like I joke with people all the time and I tell them, before I walk through the door, I'm like, all right, take a deep breath in, breathe out. It's time to get uncomfortable because that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna put you in those bad positions. They're gonna put you where you're not comfortable so that you can progress. They tell us all the time, like we would be doing you a disservice if you were the best striker in the world and the only rounds we gave you were striking rounds. Like we're not helping you. So yeah, I feel comfortable in all aspects of the game. Of course, there's things that we can work on and add pieces we can add to the game. Like that'll always be something that we can do. Um, but yeah, on the ground, on my back, I feel comfortable in my defense, working up safely. And I've even been adding some submissions to my bag, man. So, I'm searching for the submissions. I'm gonna get me one. I'm gonna get one.
So maybe next fight, either amateur or the pro, it will be some triangle or armbar from the back.
We looking for it. Let's see it. We looking for it. I got to get that submission victory on there.
And in let's say in the perfect world, when would you like to see yourself in the UFC? I know that there are some like parts that you don't know, that you don't know about your coaches, that if they decided you to go pro right now or a little bit later. But in your head, what would be a perfect point for you to go to the UFC?
Um, Man, honestly, I've we don't do it. I don't do anything to, if I'm not gonna try to be the best at it, then I'm not gonna do it. So of course, like I've got my eyes set on the top of the tops and world champs. But honestly, man, I've just been taking it day by day and fight by fight. I haven't really given too much thought as like how long, because I don't want to look, too far ahead and start overlooking these little milestones here. So I kind of just take it day by day, week by week, fight by fight. And when my coaches, feel like it's time to start having those conversations, then I'll accept them and I'll be comfortable. But of course, that's the main goal. That's the goal, is to get to the top. Get that belt and have a dominant reign.
And do you have any fighter, either you know this fighter or not, but the fighter who is a kind of inspiration for you, that you like watching your fights, or like listening listen to podcasts with this fighter?
Yeah, man. So my favorite fighter is Alex Volkanovski. So, shout out to him. My man get active, he stay active. That's how, I want to emulate that as well. I don't want to be a guy that fights, once or twice a year. I want to try to get in there as much as possible, as long as I'm healthy. And I'm taking care of my body, which I do. I feel like I do really well with that. So definitely Volk, man. I love his story and how he started out in rugby and, he was a heavier set guy and he dropped all the weight and, now he's fighting at 45. And man, yeah, Volk story. Because like I said, I was the same way. When I stepped into the gym, I was 222 and out of shape. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without like having to stop and like catch my breath. Um, so yeah, and then also I didn't know this, but I was just watching some stuff on Khalil Roundtree, and he has the similar story. So I was like, oh man, that's dope. That's what's up. And Khalil is just a savage. Like he throws bombs. So I really like watching him fight as well. And his story, and then I found out that his story, he was a bigger guy and he cleaned his life up and now he's out here fighting and we're talking about maybe title shots, top 5 guys that he's fighting now. So it's wild what you can do when you put your mind and your mind, body and soul into something, and just to see the rewards that these guys are getting. And if I just hope and pray that those are in the cards for me as well, and if not, God's will be done. I'm hopefully I can be an inspiration to the next person.
Yes, the like story for from Khalil, it was crazy. It was super inspirational. But to be honest, I was really happy that he didn't throw the next punch to Anthony Smith,
Oh
because
yeah,
yeah, and I think it was super
yeah,
respectful, because in the end he could do this, because referee didn't stop it, but he decided not to. So I think that it also show how good of the person he is.
yeah. Super, super humble and respectful, man. You could tell, like, I not to sound like I'm bragging or anything, but I feel like I can usually tell when a person is pretty genuine, and he just seems like, you could say, one of those guys who he's humble, respectable, respectful. And when we get in that cage, of course, like we've got a job to do, but me personally, I'm not in there to try and you know like make sure you're not able to see your family. Like I understand we got a job to do, and it's kill mode in there, and it's either you or me. But when you see like you're at that point where it's like, okay, this, you know, there's a fine line, between ground and pound and being able to recognize. And I agree with you that him stopping and waiting on the ref to come in before he threw those strikes. Then I stand by that. I agree with that.
And do you have a fighter in mind from the UFC or any other promotion that you would like to face? Let's say in the dream fight scenario. So there is a big chance that this fight will
Mhm.
not happen, but in like in the like your in your head, let's say.
Oh man, that's me and me and my training partner, me and my brother Malcolm, we talk about it all the time. And we just go through, like the top 10 fighters and all of the, different fighters and everything. I don't know, man. That 55 division is stacked. There's a lot of guys. Like if I was looking across the cage from them, I'll be like, man, this is wild. Like that I'm here right now. Like this is insane. So there's not necessarily one name, but it's you got like Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. Like you look at those guys, and it's just like, man, this is. If I'm standing across from them and we're getting ready to fight, it's like, dang, let's do this. It's time. Let's get it. Let's work. So yeah, man, it's that 55 division. There's a lot of hitters in there, and yeah, that would be wild, crazy to think about. Crazy to think about.
And even guys who are not in top 15 are very good top level guys with in
Yeah.
every single area. So you can pick not only like top 5 but top 30 probably.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
And about lightweight division, what do you think should be next for Islam Makhachev? Do you think that he should fight Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, or do you have any other idea?
Like I say, I like to emulate Volt, so I'm all for staying active. If you're healthy and your body can, you can get after it, go get after it. So, I wanna, see him dominate his reign, go through the whole division, stay active, go through the whole division if you want, like, Usman did, go through it twice, just keep fighting, man. Cause we won't, ultimately we can't do it forever. There's gonna be a time where you've got to, your mind or your body just won't allow you to do it anymore. So get it in while you can.
Yes, and it's quite interesting point because the like MMA career is quite overall quite short. So I think that it's better to defend the title, or even if you are not a champion, fight quite rare, quite
Yeah.
often, than one time a year, because the year it's in like span of 10 years, it's actually a 10%. So it's like
Mhm.
you maybe, of course, if the kind of injuries are happening, it's obvious that you have to make this break, but except that it would be better for you to fight because you will not be fighting when you are like 45.
Yeah, yeah. And then like you say, where it's about your legacy and your legacy as well and the name that you leave behind for your family. And when I go, I just want, people to say like, hey man, he was active, he fought, and he got after it. That's all I asked. He was a good guy, he's a good dude, respectable. But, when it came to, going to work, he went to work. He showed up, he went to work.
And let's say that like watching it, like seeing your future in your head, when do you like feel that you made it, that you did whatever you want, when you will be a like UFC champion, when you will be a top 10 guy?
Yes, sir. Definitely. When we get that belt wrapped around, man, when we get that belt and we bring it back to Augusta, being a world champ, getting the belt, it just signifies. And I don't even want that to be like the end goal. Like when that happens, when we get the belt, I want to defend. And when we defend, I want to defend again. And when we defend, like it's just I'm having so much fun in the cage and learning so much about myself. It's like after each fight, it's like, okay, what's next? Like, what can I learn about me next? What can I learn about me next? And every single time, God shows me something different about myself. And I'm like, okay, we'll work on that. Let's go. Let's get that done. Let's go get this done. Okay. You wanted to work your jab a little more. Your timing felt off. Your kicks weren't accurate. Like, there's always something that can be like fine tuned. And that's the part of the the athletic side of fighting that I'm just like in love with. It's like there'll always be something you can work on.
And in the training camp, do you have these days that you are like beaten up, tired, and you don't want to go to the gym, and you like thinking about not going, but still you decided to go, or you are like always so super focused and you know what the main goal for you is, and you are going without any problems?
Yes, sir. In training camp, yeah, especially when you got a name, and a faith. It's something. It's a mental switch that gets flipped. That's typically all I think about. Um, everything else kind of goes to the wayside. It's just like, all right, we're here. I'm focused. I'm on this path. I'm not stepping off. So I'm at that point in my career where it's like, mentally, physically, I'm locked in. You don't have to tell me to get in there. Like we're going. Um, and even like outside of fight camp, like we train so hard. We train 7 days a week. We're in there because we have other guys fighting and we got other, just aspirations of being the best fighters and men and women we could be. So we get in there and some days, yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm a little tired, I'm a little beat up, this and that. I got this going on. And then honestly, I just think about the other guys who were showing up and it's like, man, I've got to be there to give them work. Like it's not about me. It's about my team. It's about my family. So as soon as I think like that, I'm like, okay, I know Malcolm's gonna be there. I know Joe's gonna be there. I know Jake's gonna be there. I know Andrew's gonna be there. Like I gotta go in there and I gotta be a body for them because they want to get better. So it's not about you're tired. Oh, okay, that's fine. Go get some work with them.
Yes, and probably in training camp, like everybody is quite tired when you are like
Yeah,
2 or 3 weeks in.
yeah, because we work hard. I know everybody says they work hard, and it should be that way. But man, we work so hard in the gym. It is such a hard room, a tough room. But with that being said, it's a loving room. It's not like a cutthroat where we don't care anything about you. It's like a very loving, caring room. But it's tough, man. It's a hard room. Like you've got rounds with Coach Joel, who's wrestling and his striking. They don't call him the sniper for no reason. And you got rounds with Coach Jake, whose pressure is absolutely crazy, and Malcolm and Andrew. It's a tough room. It's a tough, very tough room. But I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I'm so glad I'm where I am.
And how do you deal with this stress before your fights? Because right now you're, of course, the experienced fighter, but do you have like additional nerves, like few hours before your fights?
Oh, definitely. And I, tell everybody as well, like if you don't have nerves, then that just means you don't want it. You don't want it. You gotta be passionate about it. Nerves just let you know like you're alive. Like, okay, I'm here, I'm breathing, like I'm finna go step in the cage and literally fight somebody in front of my family and their family. Like that's nerve-wracking a little bit. But I just breathe and I just relax and I think about literally all those hard training sessions, all those conditioning sessions, all the times where, I ate right, all the times where I got my water in when I didn't want to, like, and that reassures me. The fight is won inside the gym. It's not won, when you go in the cage. You win the fight well before you step in there and the bell rings. So that's just something that I just think about every single time. Like every time I feel like my heart's starting to beat fast and I just kind of get jittery and I'm like, man, what's going on? And anxious. I just think about it. I'm like, man, you trained for this. You're well prepared. I know my team has prepared me to for the worst of the worst. If this goes to the worst case scenario in the fight, you're prepared for it because you've seen it, you've been there, you've lived it, you've done it, you made it through it. We're here, and that usually just like brings me right back to where I need to be and relaxed.
And even if you are like stressed or a little bit afraid, it's like a good thing because you are in the same time focused on your opponent. You know that you can't be hit or can't be taken down. So I think that it's the fear is actually a good thing.
Yeah, it definitely it puts you in the, like I say, the right mindset of being locked in and focused. Like, okay, like, hey, I've got to, like I said, I can be touched. Okay, he touched me. Let's get back, to let's get back to the drawing board. Like those small things that it's chess. You know, you're in there, you're playing chess. You get touched, okay, let's readjust. You may, get taken down. Okay, let's readjust, stand up. Let's make sure it doesn't happen again. Don't overextend. Keep your hips back. Be ready to sprawl. So, yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. The nerves, I'll say the nerves are a good thing. That's how I feel. I feel like nerves are a good thing.
And like you said, you train a lot. But if you have some free time, what do you like to do then? Do you have like watching movies, reading books, any other hobby that you have?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So when I'm when I'm on my downtime, I like to kind of just binge watch like TV shows from my childhood, like growing up. So I've been, kind of like binge watching Everybody Hates Chris, My Wife and Kids. I've watched A Different World. I actually just got into Abbott Elementary too on Hulu. So yeah, I'm kind of like a TV show and movie type guy. Like I just want to chill at home, relax. I don't really want to go out and do all this extra stuff. Like I'm just gonna relax, get some good food, and watch my TV shows and or a movie.
And it is good, especially if this is a comedy, because the laughter is also very often like a helpful thing, especially when
Yeah.
you are like stressed or like tired.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It's my like you say, it's my guilty pleasure, my happy feeling show. So yeah, I've watched probably Everybody Hates Chris the entire season, probably like 5 times.
And also, I have a few questions outside of fighting. Uh,
Okay.
if if you can, if you have to do a presentation, a 30-minute presentation, but without any preparation about any kind of topic, but without MMA, what would you be able to talk for 30 minutes?
Um, it would probably be about man, that's a good question. Without MMA. Uh, it would probably have to be, I guess, like something like maybe basketball. I like watching basketball as well, man. Those guys, they're athletes, they're freak athletes. I like to sit down and watch basketball every now and then, especially like the closer it gets to the playoffs, because then they're trying to get, an NBA championship. So their awareness are heightened, their plays are a lot more crisp. Yeah, so probably basketball. Basketball.
And if you have to book a MMA fight, but between two non-fighters, would you like to book a fight?
Two non-fighters. Um, I would like to see. I would like to see LeBron James get in there. LeBron, I'm a LeBron fan. I would like to see him get in there. And let's see, who would I want to see LeBron fight? Hmm. Um. Let's put. I don't even know. Uh. Let's see. Probably DK Metcalf, just because he's like so freaking huge. Like, yeah, I would probably James versus Metcalf. That's probably a terrible MMA fight. I could never be a promoter or a matchmaker. But yeah, probably LeBron James versus DK Metcalf.
Okay, and the last one, what is one of your goals for 2024? It can be like MMA related or like more of the like from your personal side.
Mhm. Um, Goals for 2024 is just to keep elevating, man, in every aspect of life, not even just MMA, but to elevate, in work, my full-time job working, elevate with my family and also too just to be an inspiration. Like, hey guys, like it can be done. You can do it. It's gonna take work. It's gonna take, a lot of long nights, long nights, late nights, early mornings, but it can be done. Um, Even to like I say, because I help coach, backyard bullies as well. So even the younger guys, like I just want to be an inspiration, somebody that they can look up to.
Okay, Quincy, so many thanks for the conversation. I hope that you will be active in next year, either as the amateur or the
Sure.
pro, and you will win your next few fights, and the many great things will happen in next few years for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for the time and opportunity and reaching out as well. Thank you for what you do for, like you say, for us fighters, giving us a voice. Thank you.